G'day cocktail lovers. A little while ago I did an experiment where I infused some whiskey with some canned peaches, little peach pieces, and it was a successful experiment. So I have a little bit of this peach whiskey, and I thought it was time to experiment a little with a couple of different cocktails using this. And I decided to go for two very different cocktails. I've gone with a creamy dessert style cocktail called a peach Melba and a peach old fashioned. So different, I mean honestly there's not much point doing a taste comparison, but I'm going to anyway. I'm particularly interested in the desserty one. That works really well. I don't often use whiskey in dessert cocktails. It's actually quite light in this, it works quite well. And insofar as the peach old fashioned goes, it's got a really good peach element in it, but the whiskey character is still there. Slightly sweeter than an average old fashioned, but it's quite good. And I'll show you how I made them. I'll start with the peach old fashioned, and a little tip because I decided to beef it up with a higher proof whiskey. The process of putting the peach and syrup in with the whiskey both sweetened and diluted the whiskey a little. So I thought, beef up the whiskey element. So I've gone with Archie Rose's rum cask single malt. This is a cask strength version. So a little bit of that to really bring the whiskey back home. And otherwise, it's featuring the peach whiskey liqueur. And here's how I made it. In a mixing glass, we put 2 ounces or 60 mils of the peach whiskey liqueur. Then I'm adding half an ounce or 15 mils of the higher proof whiskey. Then around 1/4 ounce, 7.5 mils of sugar syrup, and I'm rounding things out with 3 dashes of orange bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then straining that into a rocks glass over a big chunk of sexy clear ice. And for garnishes, I'm doing a twist of orange peel and a maraschino cherry on a skewer. I guess if they were in season, I could have done a peach slice as the garnish, but they aren't really here at this time of year while I shoot this, but it makes for a great drink. It is still a lighter old-fashioned, even with that stronger whiskey giving it a little bit of extra backbone, but it's really good. I'm really enjoying that. For our dessert peach whiskey cocktail, I also included a fruit liqueur. Now I went with this, Groselle, this is a red currant liqueur, but I just thought a bit of extra fruit would be a good touch. You go with whatever you like on that front, and it's come together quite nicely. I'm surprised how it's really the fruit coming out in this less than the whiskey. It's really nice. Here's how we make it. In a shaker, put 2 ounces or 60 mils of the peach whiskey liqueur, then 3/4 ounce, around 22.5 mils of the fruit liqueur of your choice, and then add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of cream to that. Add ice to the shaker, shake that really hard for at least 15-20 seconds because the cream element's going to want to separate because of the fruit element. When you've shaken it really well to get it integrated, strain that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. These are slightly odd drinks to have side by side because they're so different. I think I'll have dessert first, in fact. I'm going to sit down and have this and then follow up with the old fashioned. Or should I do the old fashioned first and then the dessert? I'm just worried about the cream elements separating again, although it did integrate really well when I shook it really hard. It's all about experimentation and this sort of thing. Keeps life interesting. I hope this has given you ideas for things that you can do, and I hope to see you again sometime soon. Until I do, look at me, back on my double fisting bullshit for the first time in a while. But I'm going to sit down, enjoy these. Cheers!